My sister is horribly depressed and addicted to adult films, and yesterday she came on to me. My relationship with my sister was pretty normal up until about 6 months ago, and we were actually really close. Our mom works a lot and always has, so we were latchkey kids for almost all of our childhood and we get along like friends. She's the person in my family I'm closest to. She's always been pretty normal and I never thought I'd be in a situation like this. It's all really hard to swallow. 6 months ago she just completely fell apart. I'm certain something really traumatic happened to her. My mom has hinted at it, but I figured it's not my right to know if my sister doesn't want me to, so I haven't pressed for specifics, although I've offered an ear and a shoulder countless times. But she's become like a completely different person. She was always really sociable and outgoing. Now she spends almost 100% of her time locked in her room and has for months. We still talk and sometimes it almost feels like it used to, and I always make sure she knows I'm here for support, but most of the time she stays locked in. There have been times where I haven't seen her face for a week at a time despite being right next door to her. She has a couple friends she sometimes talks to online, but I barely even hear her talking to them at all anymore either. This has all been extremely heartbreaking to me and I feel like a failure as a brother, but I don't know how to help her. I'm also fairly certain she is addicted to adult films. On multiple occasions I have came home and heard adult videos playing from her room. When this happens I will make a lot of noise so she knows I'm home, and almost always it will go quiet, but shortly after it will start up again. I told her up front once about this, that I could hear, and she just looked at me and blankly told me she was sorry she didn't realize and she'll be more thoughtful about it, but it still happens. And it didn't seem like she was actually embarrassed by it at all. Sometimes it goes on for hours. The sound doesn't carry to my room, but I can hear from the hallway when I pass by, and there has been times when I hear the sounds of adult content from her room, and when I pass by again 4 or 5 hours later, I still hear it. It's also completely different to how she used to be, that I feel like she can't help it or maybe just stopped caring about life enough to feel embarrassed about it. She let me borrow her laptop once for school too, and there was like over 50 different adult content tabs open in the browser. I've talked to my mom about all this because I find it really concerning, and my mom just told me it's not my business, and if I can't hear it from my room I shouldn't be bothered. My mom frankly does not give a crap about any of this and I think doesn't really care about either of us much, but whatever, this post isn't about her. Yesterday she was hanging out in the living room with me, which is a rare sight, and she was being way more talkative than usual, which was great to see. We were even joking around and it really felt like it used to. She made a dirty joke about BJs, which really isn't out of character for her, so I didn't think anything of it. Then she asked me if I've ever had one and I just laughed it off and said that's none of her business. Then she asked if I wanted one and I told her she was being gross. Then she started acting very weird, like nervous and playing with her hands in a way I haven't seen before, and she told me she was serious, and basically just told me to come to her room if I wanted to, and then she ran up the stairs. That was the last time I've spoken to or seen her. She's been locked up in her room since then. I have no idea what to do. I'm shocked but don't want to traumatize her further. I'm angry that she would compromise our relationship as siblings to even bring something like this up. But mostly I'm just concerned for her that she is in a headspace where proposing this seemed like an acceptable idea. There has never been any inclination from her that she thought about me in any inappropriate way before. I am convinced this came about as a result of her current depression and adult content addiction. I have been up all night stressing about this. I haven't had a second of sleep. I have no idea what to do. I don't want to hurt her any more than she clearly is hurting. I don't know if I should tell my mom. My sister and my mom don't get along that well, and I feel like my sister would see it as a betrayal. Plus I'm not sure if my mom would even care at this point. I've begged her to try to push my sister to get help and she is just completely dismissive and refuses to see any problems. All my mom cares about is work. Please give me advice on how I can handle this in a way that helps her and how to deal with these upset feelings towards her. There is no one I can talk to in real life about this. I just want my sister back and it hurts so bad to see her like this.